I grew up playing the basketball with the boys, so like it's always been physical and feisty, and like that's what it is. You got to find a way to hold your own.
Caitlin Clark, the dazzling phenomenon of modern basketball, has once again managed to set the sports world ablaze. Not with another record-breaking performance, but with a revelation that has left fans stunned, analysts scrambling, and the entire league questioning what comes next. For months now, Clark has been the face plastered on headlines, the name filling stadiums, and the player who has pulled millions of new eyes onto the WNBA. From her impossible shooting range to her magnetic energy on the court, she's been unstoppable. But now, with one announcement, she's shifted the conversation entirely. Caitlin Clark is stepping away from the game. No games, no training camps, no overseas basketball, no off-season tournaments, nothing until April. That means over 200 days without the league's brightest young star, and for many, it feels unthinkable. This isn't just a break. It feels like a thunderclap across the basketball landscape. Consider the ripple effect. Fans left counting the days until she returns, coaches forced to rethink strategies, and even the league itself, which has leaned heavily on her popularity to drive ticket sales and TV ratings. Her choice brings into sharp focus the immense workload she's carried in her rookie season. In just 324 days, Clark logged nearly 3,000 minutes, comparable to a grueling NBA season of 81 games. That pace is nearly inhuman, and the toll was becoming visible. Even in her final game, the weight of her role showed, though it didn't stop her from putting on one more spectacular performance. That last game was more than just another matchup. It was the fever against the Connecticut Sun, one of the most disciplined and playoff-tested squads in the league. On paper, Indiana had no chance. The Sun's defense is brutal, their experience unmatched. Yet Clark walked onto the court as though destiny were hers to write. She poured in 25 points, handed out 9 assists, and kept the fever breathing when most assumed they'd be buried. Fans watching could feel it. This wasn't just about numbers. This was Caitlin orchestrating an entire offense, creating open looks for teammates who, despite their best efforts, couldn't always cash in on her brilliance. How many perfect passes can one player deliver before someone finally knocks them down? That was the question hanging in the air as possession after possession saw Clark dissect defenders, only for the rim to betray Indiana's hopes. Still, the effort was breathtaking. From the opening tip, Clark drove fearlessly to the basket, drilled deep shots with ice in her veins, and controlled the tempo against one of the toughest defenses in the league. Every move radiated confidence, and every possession carried her imprint. Though the season ended in heartbreak, Clark's performance was a defiant reminder. She's not just a rookie finding her footing, she's already one of the most dangerous players in women's basketball. Yet, what lingers even more than the loss is the chaos that closed that game. Fans remember the sight all too well. Clark taken down hard, tackled to the floor, and astonishingly, no foul called. The arena gasped. The commentators struggled to hide their disbelief, and within moments, social media exploded with outrage. "Can someone explain how that's not a foul?" fans demanded. "Oh, wait, it's Caitlin Clark." The implication was clear. The double standard had reared its head, and everyone saw it. Outrage rippled through timelines, hashtags trended, and even fellow players began weighing in on the league's handling of Clark. One player voiced what many were feeling. "We come to play basketball. It's our job, and we love it." But no, one should go to work and have social media erupt over things like this. Something has to change. Alyssa Thomas, who had just battled Clark and emerged victorious, didn't even celebrate the win. Instead, she turned her post-game comments into a rebuke of Fever fans for crossing the line with slurs and disrespect. But the timing raised questions, because earlier in the season, when Angel Reese was involved in a similar hard foul incident, Thomas had stayed silent. Now, with Clark in the spotlight, the reaction was different. To fans, the inconsistency only deepened the sense that Clark is treated by a different standard, for better or worse. That moment, chaotic and controversial, may have been the final push behind Clark's shocking decision. Instead of pushing through the off-season grind, she chose herself, her health, her mind, and her long-term legacy. No. 3-on-3 tournaments. No overseas contracts. No extra minutes in her already overflowing workload. Just rest. And in doing so, she has flipped the narrative from rookie phenom to player-wise beyond her years. Because while fans are devastated at the thought of missing her presence on the court, they can't deny the wisdom in her choice. Think about what she has already endured. Every opposing team circled her name on the scouting report. Entire defensive. Schemes were designed with one goal: stop Caitlin Clark. Coaches had to rewrite game plans mid-match just to adjust to her relentless attack. And despite all of that, night after night, she delivered. That is the definition of a superstar. When every eye in the arena is locked on you, every scheme designed against you, and yet you still find a way to shine. And shine she did. Her shooting. Range stretched defenses beyond belief, forcing them to guard her nearly at half court. When she sank those long threes, defenders panicked, collapsing inward, which opened up lanes for her lightning-quick drives. With razor-sharp ball handling and court vision that seems otherworldly, she turned defenses inside out. And when the shot wasn't hers, she was finding teammates with dimes that seemed surgically precise. Even Clark herself admitted this season was just the beginning. In her own words, "I feel like I had a solid year, but the fun part for me is knowing I'm just scratching the surface. I nitpick everything I do because I want to help this franchise grow, help my teammates improve, and be better for them. There's so much room for me to grow, and that excites me." Those aren't the words of someone content to bask in early stardom. They're the words of a leader hungry to evolve and determined to bring her team along with her. That's what truly separates her from so many. She isn't chasing individual glory. She isn't satisfied with highlight reels or gaudy numbers. She's building something lasting, an identity for herself, for the Fever, and for the WNBA. And if this season proved anything, it's that the league feels different when Caitlin Clark is on the floor. Every game she played was an event, a spectacle that brought in not just longtime fans, but new ones who may have never cared about women's basketball before she arrived. Now, with her stepping away, the absence will be deafening. The Fever will feel it most, but so will the league, the fans, and the very rhythm of the WNBA. Because when one player carries not just her team, but the weight of an entire movement, her silence speaks volumes. This pause isn't just about recovery. It's a statement about her value, her vision, and her determination to define her career on her terms. Caitlin Clark knew what her body needed. Not more mileage, not more tournaments, not even the lighter, fast-paced energy of 3-on-3 basketball. What she needed was something so many young stars are too afraid to demand: rest. A full reset. The kind of pause that allows the body to heal, the mind to recharge, and the spirit to sharpen for another run at greatness. While many of her peers feel the pressure to chase overseas contracts, to stay visible in off-season tournaments, or to prove their durability by never sitting still, Caitlin made the rare choice to think long-term. By stepping away now, she isn't. Running from the grind, she's mastering it. Protecting her health today ensures she'll dominate tomorrow. But even with the wisdom of her decision, the backdrop of her season was far from easy. For all the adoration she has earned, Caitlin Clark has also had to carry the weight of disrespect. From racist undertones in conversations around her, to the constant barrage of criticism, to the officiating that seemed blind to the punishment she absorbed night after night, it was relentless. Fans watched in disbelief as one of the league's brightest stars was hacked at the rim, shoved on the perimeter, and even tackled to the floor, only to hear the silence of the whistle. Normally, superstars earn the benefit of the doubt. LeBron. James, Aja Wilson, when they drive, calls follow. For Caitlin, nothing. The inconsistency wasn't just frustrating, it was glaring. Analysts couldn't ignore it. Coaches questioned it. And fans erupted online, pointing out what seemed obvious. The league had a problem respecting its own rising star. The boiling point came in that final game against the Connecticut Sun. It was playoff basketball at its fiercest. Yet even in the spotlight, the same ugly pattern showed itself. Hard hits went uncalled, obvious contact dismissed. Fans were furious, commentators shaking their heads. The disrespect wasn't hidden anymore. It was right there in front of millions. And the frustration wasn't limited to the court. It seeped into the stands. Midway through the game, one heckler took it too far, taunting Caitlin with relentless venom. She kept her composure as long as she could, but even she has limits. At one point, she calmly signaled to security, and within minutes, the fan was escorted out. That moment said it all. Caitlin Clark wasn't just battling defenders. She was fighting against noise from every angle, referees, rivals, fans, and the weight of expectation. And yet, through it all, she carried herself with poise and resolve. Her rookie season was never just about numbers. Yes, the points and assists were staggering. Yes, the highlights were nightly spectacles. But her season became a case study in perseverance and maturity. She endured hostile officiating, endless scrutiny, and the grind of a schedule built to break rookies. And still, she rose above it. That resilience, that refusal to bend, is what cements her as more than just a player. She is a leader, a symbol, and a force reshaping the WNBA. Still, her absence has altered everything. With Clark sidelined, the balance of the playoffs shifted in an instant. One of the league's fiercest rivalries, Caitlin versus Angel Reese, suddenly went cold. Their battles all season long had electrified arenas and fueled debate shows. Shot for shot, word for word, moment for moment, they were the headline act. Without Caitlin, Angel no longer has her biggest obstacle in front of her. She hasn't gloated. But the truth is undeniable. Clark's absence opened doors for others. Aja Wilson now carries the spotlight, the last megastar standing in the postseason. But the playoff picture is only part of the story. The real question is what Caitlin's exit means for the league itself. The uncomfortable truth. Caitlin Clark didn't just play in the WNBA this year, she transformed it. She became the attraction. Fans bought tickets to see her. Networks cleared slots to air her games. Social media exploded every time she pulled up from the logo or dropped a no-look dime. For the first time in years, women's basketball wasn't just part of the conversation, it was the conversation. And that was because of her. Now, the WNBA faces a test it hasn't had in decades. Can the league keep that momentum alive without its biggest draw? Can Angel Reese or Aja Wilson keep casual fans tuning in? Can the league survive 200 days without its brightest light? Behind the scenes, you can bet executives are nervous. Sponsors signed deals on the back of Caitlin's star power. Broadcasters banked on her ratings. Merchandisers built campaigns around her face. Her absence isn't just a blow to the fever, it's a shock to the entire WNBA ecosystem, because Caitlin Clark isn't just another rookie. She's the story. Every viral clip, every surge in ticket sales, every spike in jersey purchases, her fingerprints are all over them. Now, without her, the question becomes who can fill that void? The honest answer? No one. Not yet. That's the unique power she holds. When she steps away, the league feels it everywhere, in the stands, on the airwaves, and across culture itself. And yet maybe that's the point. Caitlin's decision to rest wasn't just about self-preservation. It was about leverage. She reminded everyone that when she's off the court, the league shifts. That kind of influence isn't just rare, it's historic. Women's basketball is finally having its cultural moment, and it's tethered to her rise. She has made people care in ways they never did before. She's drawn new eyes, new voices, new conversations, and when she returns, the storm she brings will be bigger than ever. Because if there's one thing we've learned about Caitlin Clark, it's that she doesn't fade quietly. This break isn't an ending, it's a reload. When April comes and she steps back onto the hardwood, arenas will roar louder than ever. TV cameras will chase her every move, and the league will once again orbit around her. Caitlin understands her place in history. She knows that years from now, when people talk about the rise of women's basketball, her name will be right there at the center. So the question remains, can the WNBA hold its momentum without her, or will everything wait until Caitlin returns? Fans already know their answer. They'll be counting the days. Because once Caitlin Clark comes back, women's basketball won't just continue, it will ignite all over again.